Shout out to the Mailroom Nation. Shout out to the Mailroom Goon, City, Hood, Click. Let's go. I am Professor Melly Mill, the Hood Postman. Let's get it.
Yeah, yeah. Lock the door on him. Lock the door on him. Hood Postman. Hood Postman. Reporting live. Reporting live. This the Hood Postman, come and check the program. You ain't from the streets, this is something you should know, man. Running from police, gotta grip the wheel with both hands. Speeding down the interstate, please do not approach him. 40s in the fridge, got the caddy in the driveway. Get all out of my face, I don't wanna violate. Looked up in the mirror and I told myself, why wait? We took this shit worldwide, you only in 5 states. Came from the 4 corners with my 4 quarters. Showed them the style, then they stole on us. Times got wild, then they told on us. Dog, it was hard, but we had to keep it rolling. You ain't gotta ask, you know where to find me. I be in the back streets where it get grimy. It's just me and Mel, Rennie looking bride D. I be going hard till I'm in the 5 C's. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never had to tell a lie. Let's ride. Know the vibes. I'ma do it till I die. I ain't never switched sides, I ain't never told them up lie. Let's ride. Hood Postman. 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 Hood Postman.
Shout out to the Mailroom Nation, to the Mailroom Goons. I am Professor Melly Mail. Be sure to click the notification bell, like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment down below. So when the dope content hit, it'll feel like it's the 1st and the 15th. Welcome to another episode of Wisdom Wednesday. This is not a glorification, nor is it a glamorization. This is an education. You can go anywhere in the world and hear a couple of lies, but you come right here to get the truth. Before they had handguns, they had fair ones. And we're here to do it like that, just on the fair one side. Shout out to everybody in the chat room. Shout out to everybody that come and support and listen and just want to get into this cavalcade of conversation. As I get started today, as you see the picture, Keevy D, I got a picture of Keevy D up, and I want to talk about Keevy D a little bit today, and some of the things I've been hearing and seeing, and some of his interactions with the Vlad TV, also, and other. Well, we all know why he really do these interviews because, and I'll get into that shortly. But what I like to say is that, Marlena, you're doing such an amazing job. I appreciate you every time you come on and be a part of this program and continue to help me with this platform and see it through. So let's get to it. As you see, the mind, what we think about the mind is, you think if we told people the mind is an app, they'd use it more? Do you think that would work? I don't know. I'm just, it's just a hypothetical on my part. But Keefy D, a bold manner, a showman, a boldness intending to impress. This has always been this guy's character, no matter what. From the early 80s on to the 90s and maybe early 2000, the man touched a lot of money. He touched a lot of money, and he had a lot of dealings with a lot of different people. He interacted with Biggie Smalls, Puff Daddy, and all these Gene Deal and all these other individuals that were from New York. And the man clearly had it going on. But what he didn't anticipate was the fallout. Or did he fully understand where his life was heading? You don't owe anyone an interactions of your time, your energy, your love, your explanation to how you lived your life. Of course you don't. But you respond to questions from Vlad multiple times on certain topics, specifically concerning Tupac and your nephew. Shout out to his nephew, rest in peace. He was an incredible young man. I think he could have been a great deal more. Um, and I'm not going to go as far as to say that maybe Keefe misled him. I'm not going to even say that. I know Keefe's older brother, Ed. I know who Dottie Waddy is. I know his brother, rest in peace, Mike D is. So I've been around this guy. A matter of fact, my son actually, one of my sons, little Melly, dated his daughter. So we very familiar with him. But every time I would see him, he just was this braggadocious guy. He was, he was just very braggadocious in the sense that he couldn't contain himself. He had to be the center of attraction. He was always, the light was on him. And I guess the light is still on him as he do these interviews. And I'm thinking that he probably up to 37, 38 interviews with Vlad TV. I've talked with him over the phone. We've spoken on many occasions, and he's told me his reason behind a lot of what he did and why he did it. Off the record, he told me that. So, and I don't believe when you I don't know if he's sorry or he has insight to, or do we gain insight into his private life? I don't know his belief system or even his emotions. But what I do know is that no one owes the world understanding. But but however, when you come on the internet and start opening up to this one guy, you have to know that there's going to be some responses, there's going to be some reactions, and there's going to be some people that come on and want why to understand quite who you are and why you did what you did and why you said what you said. So, and I'm not condemning him or condoning anything he did. I believe that at this place in time, due to the money that went through his hand and the cash flow that he had, he's on survival right now because survival is actually an innate. It's something that we all gonna do. We all gonna go through. We all gonna be like there. We're gonna do what we need to do to survive. And I think that now that he no longer have that type of money, he feel the need to try to either at least sell his story or put the information out as bits and pieces and share it. And each time he get I guess he get what we call a bag for it. You know, he get a bag for it. But what I want to do is for people like him to get into what my take is on all this and how it impact and affect our communities. And I think that people like himself should be more conscious of what their imprint is and the impression they left on their overall community, their tribe, their section. And shout out to them Southside cats. Professor Melly Mill got plenty of love for y'all, and I hope y'all success in any and everything you do. That's what I believe is honesty coming from me. I don't want to, see no harm come to no black man. That's just what I believe, and that's what I stand on. Shout out to Dallas, Texas. Shout out to everybody. Hey, Michelle, how are you doing in there? Marlena, of course. I just want to give a couple of shout. Mr. Cool, what's happening? So Keefe D, again, started off in the 80s, made a lot of money. One of my first interactions with him was when my homeboy, one of my close friends, one of my best friends growing up, Raw Dog, aka Reg, got into it with Keefe D's cousin. His name was Greg, and Greg had ran into Reg's daughter's mother at the time. I think it might have been a skating ring thing or something like that, and she gave him some play or whatever, and Reg get wind of it, him and them get into it. So Reg come up to where I'm at. I'm at my spot over on Willowbrook, chilling. I had a spot right down from the Compton police, right down the street from the Compton F Troop police. They used to pass by the spot every day, and I've got things going. But anyway, that's another story. So Reg comes up and he said, man, these dudes trying to get at me. I'm saying, who trying to get at you? Man, they about to come over here. I said, they coming over here? I said, what you mean they coming over here? He said, man, they about to pull up. I think they was, following me or whatever. So of course, me being who I am, I put that goddamn it on me. I had a coat, that 44 long, that long one, about that long. Put that thing, and no matter what you do, they're gonna see it whether you try to hide it or not. They're gonna see it. So really, they came over to talk and find out because Keefy D and Reg had a conversation. They knew each other. They knew each other. Matter of fact, Reg knew the whole family. But anyway, long story short, we was able to resolve that situation, and everybody was cool, and we went on to be, pretty cool and cordial with one another. And over the period of time, I began to see Keefe grow and merge and get into this so-called game of life and have plenty of success at it, driving pretty much anything he want, dating multiple women, being with all sorts of chicks and everything. I'm not going to get into all that, but, yeah, he was, into that. But my thing today, I want to say today to the little homies, I want you to know this is my sincere Sawila Kui to you. Is that little homie. What if I told you that beef your neighborhood got with that other hood? It's about your big homie, weak ass baby mama. And her moving out of pocket. And he couldn't handle it. What if I told you that the discrepancy that you got with your ops, that you basically inherit because your big homie decided to backdoor somebody who was giving them work at the best prices in town and was basically putting them on and they couldn't handle the hustle? What if I told you that? What if I told you that the war that you've been fighting and going on for over 20 some years and maybe even longer, many of your homies, many of your homies too was because your homies lost because your homie lost a fight, a one-on-one, trying to bully somebody out there? We got to be careful who we pledge allegiance to. We got to know what we are getting ourselves into. And this is my sincere heartfelt to you because I see how our world is collapsing, how the art of the gangbang is escalating and everything is just, it's becoming very, very chaotic. And because the things that you do, you gotta at least decide what you riding or dying for. You gotta understand that you can't just immerse yourself and put yourself into something you don't understand what you riding or dying for. And you don't even know who you rallying up against. You just out there. Because in your mind, this war or this beef, you don't inherit that, absolutely now. Go all the way back to the Raymond Washington days. Raymond Washington lost his life behind a chick. There are so many Damus and Keyways that lost their lives behind chicks. It's countless, can't even number. Make sure you know what you get riding down for, man. Riding down for. Make sure you know that. That's important because you don't know. There's some dudes that come over. I don't have dudes that come and run back to their neighborhood and say, "Man, I got jumped," and they got beat up by in a one-on-one, and they come back to their neighborhood and tell the whole world that they got jumped by these dudes. Now y'all running over there to try to defend him. You got to know what you're putting your life on the line for. I'm talking to you, little homies. You got to learn what you're putting your life on the line for. Is it really worth it? Are we going to be gangbangers for the rest of our lives? Is this the outcome we looking for? Is this where we going? Is this the ethnic identity of Black people in Los Angeles, Compton, Watts, Gardenia, Linwood, Carson, and other neighboring surrounding cities? Is this the ethnic identity? You claiming hoods that you don't even own property in it no more. Changes are happening. Whether you want to be a part of it or not, it's happening. And change look like no one live in them neighborhoods no more. No more black people live in those neighborhoods no more. But yet you want to maintain and hold on to them ideally in your head and in your heart and in your emotions. There's nothing we can do to bring Turtle back. There's nothing we can do to bring Puddin back. There's nothing we can do to bring Tookie back. There's nothing we can do to bring Tam back. There's nothing we can do to bring Baby Lane back. There's nothing to do we can be Michael Stone, Jerry Stone. Nothing we can do to bring any of those individuals back. All we can do is start from this point now and figure out what we need to do moving forward. Because guess what? The past is the past. That's just what it is. The future is not yet. All we have is this moment. What we're going to do in this moment. It's hard to imagine a more stupid or more dangerous way of making decisions than by putting those decisions in the hands of people and who pay no price for being wrong. It's hard to put those decisions in the hand of people who paid no price for being wrong in their decision making. One of the best concrete generals I've ever seen was Turtle because he made precision decisions. I'm talking about they would be precise. They would be so well thought out. They'd be so well calculated. And I'm not saying that he was the best at it, but what I am saying, even him, he lost in that sequence, in that so-called battle lap, in that Babylon mix-up, I like to call it. Maybe we tell the people that the brain is the app, they'll start using it. And that's one reason why this is. And I use Keefy D to get to this point. And the reason why I use him, I see him when he's on Vlad, he got these dark shades on. It's because he's hiding the windows to his soul. The eyes are the windows to your soul. Remember this. When you see people wearing dark shades and you cannot see their eyes, they have a lot to hide. They have a lot to hide. They cannot face the world with their eyes. They cannot take the movie glasses and look at the world from their eyes. Because if you look at it into their eyes, you'll see something different than what's coming out their mouth. And I understand that maybe he's not doing too well in his life. You know, I heard he got a couple of ailments or so. And he's getting older. And maybe he can't work anymore. I don't know. I can't imagine the pain that his sister must feel. I can't imagine that. Savior Strang, what's up, homie? What's up, homie? Kareem, Candy Bar. Roger Scott, a heads up at Fair One. That's it. That's it. You know, so I'm just really breaking this stuff down because it's the little homies that's suffering. Salute to Kiva Bo and salute to you, homie. It's the little homies that suffer. Once again, little homie, what if I told you that the beef your neighborhood got with that other hood is about your big homie's weak ass baby mama? How many lives been lost like that? Go back and look at the 60s and the 8 trade war. Some chick. Raymond Washington, some chick. I remember the little back and forth that happened between Tookie and Jimmy Cash Butler. Butler was about his sister. I seen Donald Duck Norwood get into it because he was a ladies' man. I seen Malcolm, Joy and Malcolm, the bartender, and Malcolm, New York. They was very handsome dudes, lady killers. Dudes wanted to hurt them because their ability to attract chicks. No, I'm sure a lot of the beefs were over someone smashing somebody's shorty. Yeah, a lot of them, bro. A lot of them. Just think these dudes was fighting over hoods, and they're larger than minority or demographics. Let me see. Majority of demographics, there are more. Yeah. So what I'm saying to you is that we gotta get together in New York. We gotta get together in California. We gotta get together in Tennessee. We gotta get together in Michigan and Detroit. You know the cities, Milwaukee, B More, DC, Atlanta, ATL, Texas, Dallas, Fort Worth, Houston, San Antonio. You know the cities. Memphis, both Arkansas and Tennessee, Oakland, Los Angeles, San Diego, and all in between. We as a people, we got to do something. We got to change the direction. We got to change the way we think. The way we think is not serving us anyway. We must master a new way of thinking. Matter of fact, master a new way of thinking before we can master a new way of being. We got to master a new way of thinking before we can master a new way of being. That's just the facts. And if we somehow think that this hood celebrityism, I'm gonna get on the hip hop people too. I got something for them. Maybe not today. We'll do it another day. And I know you guys are waiting to get get your hands on that Laker and Warriors game. I'm not gonna keep you too long. I don't know when the games start, and I know when I'm up competing against the Lakers, it's hard for me to keep y'all up. That's just the honesty of it. But I'm glad you guys don't look at KD the same. Much respect. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean, you can look at him because look at the everything that was sacrificed in that circumstance. And he was supposed to be the boss, according to him. And I don't get me wrong, I have nothing. I got plenty of love for Keefe D because we grew up in an era where we didn't beef and not get along. We didn't grow up in that era. That's somebody else. That's when the youngsters took it to higher levels and misunderstandings. You know, do you think it's too late to change? No, I don't think it's too late to change. I don't think that at all. I think that it is very possible. This is the reason why you think I would waste my time saying these things I say if I thought it was too late to change. You know, and I just wanted to give you guys an inside look of what my thoughts was on it. You know what I mean? I don't necessarily get into these things where I kind of speak what I know and tell you what I think versus like getting into other things that where I don't really have no grounds or basis for what I'm saying. So let me put it that way. I think it's important that we as black men we open up and communicate with one another because communication is one thing, but comprehension is a whole nother thing. And that's what we got to comprehend and understand and relate to one another and build each other up. Because we the most ego-driven being on the planet. And the more our women understand that, the more vibrant, the more successful we'll be. Because when a black woman encourages a black man to go out there to be the very best version of himself, nothing can stop him. This is the season for catching the vapors. you know, That's it. That's how poised we are. I believe KVD was very cavalier in what his stance was on in his neighborhood, and he chests out, you know, big money in his pocket, money stashed away, buying cars, property, everybody, coming at him, for a lift, for a lookout. All the dudes coming home from lockup, going to see Keefe D, none of that's available anymore. None of it biblical. None of that's available anymore. The mob broke away from us because of female. See, that's what Kiva say. And I believe that's what it was. Because I've seen it happen too many times in other neighborhoods and sections. I seen a dude, what you think happened to us in Park Village? That little thing that happened with Park Village was about a dude from Park Village that lost a fair one. He went back to his homeboys and lied. And they rode with him. They didn't even know he lied, but they delve into some stuff that cause people to lose property, lose life, and lose limb, and all that stuff. Because one dude lied, and that dude eventually something happened. I don't know what happened to him, but I don't think he's. But that's how that goes. There are consequences in your actions. And you may not realize it at that time, but there's always consequences because there's a such thing as cause and effect. Everything has a duality. There's up and down, open and closed. There's life and death. Everything has a duality. There's not one thing that you can point at that doesn't have a duality. Just think about it. There's man and woman, boy and girl. Everything has a duality. Pharaoh, what's happening, man? What's happening with you, Pharaoh? I had a well-known banger that wanted to beef with me over abroad, and it was out of. But yeah, I'm not surprised, bro. I'm not surprised because many, like I'm telling you, many of these wars that they now fighting that was started way back then that's still been carrying on to this day. That a lot of these youngsters inherit. Because if you think about it, a lot of these youngsters don't even know the forefathers or the dudes that started their name. They don't know nothing about them. You think when I be talking about Donald Duck No Woods, Silas Cole, Chocolate, Hercules, I talk about Robbo, Gary Miller, the Governor, Snake, Chili Pimp, Barkus, Maddox. You think when I talk about, you think any of them cats over there, the younger cats, I even tell you this. If I go back 2 generations, maybe 2 or 3 generations past me, from where I'm at, none of them dudes know them dudes I just mentioned. No, absolutely none, other than what I say on the internet. But they know absolutely nothing about them. Nothing. But yet they banging the hood or the section that these guys created in the hood they started. You understand? And they bang it, but they know absolutely nothing. But what happened in business? Let's look at it in business. He who failed to plan, planned to fail. Right? In business, in order to have a successful business, what you must first have the knowledge of working that business, the inner and outer of the business, the nuts and bolts. If you don't understand that, the business won't be successful. That's the same. That's a common principle just in life. To understand how, to know how to walk it through, to know what, because everything has a map. It's about who's willing to lend you the map to navigate that life. Magic Johnson, that's a map. Michael Jordan, that's a map. And I'm just getting them to in entertainment. I mean, basketball. But there's entertainment maps. There's financial maps. John Hope Bryant from Compton. How many people know who John Hope Bryant? He's from Compton. He's a financial genius. Ava DuVernay. She knows how to be in the movies and put movies in direction. That's a map. If you was trying to be a director, you would want to study, if you could, under Ava DuVernay. If you want to be a financial whiz, an analyst, you would study under John Hope Bryant. If you want to be under Bears and Stearns and all that, and Morgan, Stanley Chase, and all this stuff, you would want to talk to this guy, right? But somehow we conclude in our minds we can just take some money and just throw us something and it's going to automatically work. No, don't work like that. Even when I did doing this podcast, well, not podcast, it's a YouTube show. It's not a podcast. I had to learn it, right? And I learned it by messing with Kev Mack. Shout out to Kev Mack. See, you have to study under somebody. You have to get information. Because if you go into anything with being information poor or suffering from information malpractice, malnutrition, once again, he who failed to plan to fail. So I don't know when, and coming back to KBD, I don't know when he had all that money, what he was doing with it, and how he was, put it up. Because how many times in life do we get to have, and I'm gonna say, a couple of $1 million run through your hands, and you be able to take it and make something out of it? Because here's the thing: having $1 million is one thing, but managing $1 million is a whole nother ball of wax. And that's what we fell out, because we don't know what to do when we get that type of money. We think that buying a Mercedes, buying a Maybach, buying a Lamborghini or any of that type of stuff, we think that first, and then maybe we might buy a place to stay. I know a dude that got a Bentley. He stayed with his mama. I don't say nothing to him. I mean, he cool. It's something. I'm thinking, wow. In my mind, something that's going up my head. Like, man, did this dude really see himself? Man, they be sharp, man. Clean as the board of hell. Jump out in that Bentley, man. Pull out his mama driveway. Boom. Out of there. You know, shining. And that's how they go. I got a guy out of DC. He gave me a story, right? And he talked about Rayful Edmonds and all these cats out of DC, right? And he was really hyped and animated about the story. Told me about the guy had a homosexual transvestite hitman, and he was gay and all this different stuff. And he was talking real powerful about all these stories, right? And I told him, okay, cool, we can do an interview. We can, but then when it came back around, he changed his mind. In other words, he revealed too much information. And I can say it because he said it to me. It ain't my information. And I'm not going to tell you who it was, but at the same time, it's just some of these cats don't think out. Once again, he who failed to plan to fail. You got to plan this stuff out. Best thing in the world, water. I drink 3 of these a day, sometimes 4. It's like, let me see, how many is it? 33.8 ounces every day. But anyway, I know the Laker game is coming on. Anybody got any questions before we get up out of here? Marlena, you got anything to say? Number one, that there is a great quote. Salute. Thank you. Yeah, who would have thought that, Kiva? Who would have thought that? Southside antennas at war, mob and looters at war. Who would have thought that? We got to get back to tribalism. Shout out to the Hebrew Israelites, to the world's under and overstand. Understand, 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 overstand. That's what I believe. Shout out to Frederick, man. Appreciate you. What's up, Demon? We gotta get you back on, man, so you can talk about the Vegas Chronicles, bro. Gotta get you back on. We talk about the Vegas Chronicles. Mob and Luda started beefing at a house party on Harrison Carlin back in the mid '80s. Wow, credible information. Tribalism is done. That kind of stuff is done. Well, is it really done though? Why is it done? Because we can't figure it out in the United States. It seems to be working perfect in Africa and other places. Look what tribalism was to Taliban. Look at they stayed with their tribalism, and eventually Russia had to leave, and eventually the United States had to leave because they stayed tribalism. They stayed with it. They did not deviate from their culture and their tribalism. They held strong. You got to look at that. Take a village to raise a child, but a child that doesn't feel that's not embraced by the village will burn it down to feel its warmth, and that's where we at because we're not embracing the child. See, we got a village, we got a tribe, but let me say that again. It takes a village to raise a child, but a child that is not embraced by the village would burn it down to feel its warmth, and that's where we're at right now. The children are burning down the village. What you breathe out, you got to breathe in. I agree with that. Shout out to the Hebrew Israelites. Yeah. Victory loves preparation. I love that. You're right, bro. Victory loves preparation. Preparation prevents poor performance all the time. But we seem to think as a people that just because we got a bunch of money, that everything is going to turn and work in our favor. See, we like to being rich looks like boasting and bragging and braggadocious and stuff, but being wealthy is silent. That's why you see these guys on. I don't know if the LA guys do it, but they see these guys with this big old bricks of money and all these big old chunky change. Is that wealth? No, it's not. That's projecting something that's really not there. They might know monster or little fee. Yeah, they don't define you as a person, but we seem to have that in our head, though, Tony. Why is that in it? Why is that so ingrained into our culture? Why is that so many people in our culture believe that? How do we arrive there? We buy more Gucci, more Louis Vuitton, and all these other labels than probably any other group of people. Just think about it. During the pandemic, man, they had at the South Coast Mall out there in Costa Mesa where the Gucci, the Fendi, the Prada, the Louis stores, all these stores, right? They had a sign because all them dudes ran out there with them EBD cards or whatever, PPP cards, whatever they had. And they said, we do not accept them cards anymore because they, man, I'm talking about they were spending racks. I have to say that I had the money in my early 20s. I had the money and I didn't know what to do with it. None of us knew what to do with it, bro. I'm included in that. Don't think I'm exempt from that. I'm included in it. I know better now. I'm riding on a 800 FICO score. God tried to calm me today. Man, I couldn't believe that stuff this guy was saying to me today. You know what I mean? But I'm super sharp now. You know what I mean? He tried to run a real con on me. I was shocked. Use my FICO score to finance a deal with investors. I'd be the loan grantor or the maintainer, the number one person on the loan, and he'd take the money and invest it in a company for us to start this. I'm just sitting there, I'm like, wow, we just gonna sit here and look at you. That's where I was at with it, you know. I was shocked. Yeah, that's true. You know, Kevin Samuels used to say that too. You need 2.5 million. He used to talk about that. Yeah, that's once a lifetime. Right on, yeah, yeah, man. Oh, that was facts about what I said about rifle. Yeah, they say he had a transvestite hitman. I don't know. The dude, he got scared. He got cold feet. He didn't want to do the story, so I can't do the back and forth. Either you want to do it or you don't. You know, it's just yeah, yeah, yeah. Right on, Marlena. Keep soaring, Professor. We're proud of you. Thank you. Same here, DC. Shout out to my DC guys, man. I love DC. Kurt Bone, my guy out there, man. My guy. You know, was Wayne Perry was from DC, right? What up, Casey? Shout out to my guys in DC, man. I met some cool DC cats in the feds. Man, I'm talking about they was, you know, they was down, very militant, very strategic, very smart, very black, very black. Barry Forms. There you go. Chester Banks, Barry Forms. There you go. Good Hope Road. On Labor Day, I saw a cat rolling down Wilmette K, the heart of South Park, in a Lamborghini. Yeah. What purpose was that? You know, what was the purpose? Words of wisdom. Appreciate you, yeah, man. That's what's up, man. Like I say, man, I got love for the DC guys. I love y'all strength. I love y'all fire. I love y'all passion because DC, Chocolate City, man. That's some real Chocolate City right there. Manufactured, built, and made by black people. I don't care what they got going on as far as Pennsylvania Avenue and all that. Black people built all that. We need our money. We want our money now. Pay us. Pay what you owe. Uh, Rifle was in control. You know, you're right. I got a partner, man, that used two homeboys that dealt with Rifle. Roy Summers and Armando. They both was dealing with Rifle. I remember when Rifle came out and he went to buy John Boy's club out in the marina, Casanovas. We talked about that with John Boy. So Rayful was definitely a money guy, a big money guy. Oh yeah, LA dudes don't flex like that. If you do, they come in and get you. Yeah, I think that's more of a down south thing, where you get to break some money and hold it up to your head like it's a phone or have them stacked up like that. That's more. Is that more of a down south thing, or is the New York cats into that too? Oh, right on. Yeah, Tony. Yeah, yeah. I know because that's like the mecca of counterfeit for the United States is New York because everything that's coming in from mainland China hits there first. It's not Chocolate City anymore, huh? Man, Barian. Oh man, I remember that guy. I remember that guy. He passed away too, man. Marion Barry probably was the best mayor y'all ever had because Marion Barry was with it. Even though he was smoking, he still he still was about his people though. Yes, down south. Wisdom Wednesday. What's up, Devon Cutmore? A Canadian brother. Yeah, Marion Barry was down with him, man. He was they caught him in that room smoking, but he still came back and won and beat the mayor. Even after all that, he was not couldn't count him out. Don't count him out. He's still with it. You went to Fremont with John Boy. That's my guy, Johnny Watts. John Boy had a lot of money. Yeah, sometimes I would like to get some of these big money guys to really come tell a real true story. Just let it out. So you passed it now. It's you know a smoker's gonna always be for his people. Yeah, just let it out because listen, we know you messed up the bag. We know you fumbled the bag. There's countless of dudes we can go through and know who fumbled the bag, right? But just knowing that they had that much money and how much power they had, but they really didn't understand it, or did they know how to navigate it? What the investing in, what attorney, investment attorney, or what attorney to get with to protect themselves. They didn't know that. Most of these guys, even with the mob has always been attorney based. I don't care how much bad and big and bad the mob is, they are a attorney based outfit organization. They got multiple attorneys around them. That's why they was calling John Gotti the Teflon Don, Rock Fresh, Evil Kurt. I think man. Evil Kurt was a. I'm telling you, man. Evil Kurt. I used to see Evil Kurt all the time. Me and Evil Kurt was even in a lockup before. I'm talking to Evil Kurt, man. He spotted somebody that he didn't like, man. He went on and did a drop kick. He in the middle, come in and having a conversation. That's I thought he'd run across the room and doing a flying drop kick on somebody. Good youngster, just a good youngster. You know. That was a very, very sad thing that happened to him. Very sad thing. Because here's the thing, that thing about somebody walking up on somebody and don't know who they really are. And Kurt didn't take the individual serious. And the individual was somebody that he was a walk on, a put on, or something, somebody not. And he don't started something between some brothers, and he ain't nowhere else to be found. And that's what these are dudes I'm talking about. These are dudes that didn't grow up necessarily, in that circle. Or, and it happens in the South, it happens in towns, it happens in looters, it happens in mob. There's dudes that claim these neighborhoods, right? That didn't grow up over there. You can't connect their aunties, their mothers, their dads, their cousins, the little brothers or sisters. They have absolutely, there's no dots to connect these guys to those particular neighborhoods. And them always be the guys that do the biggest damage to the tribe because they don't have nothing to lose. They don't have nothing to be concerned about. They're not associated. They can easily just disappear. And that's the problem. Why do we let those individuals intervene or become part of what we're doing and they really have no ties? That's why when you look at the mob, you can't just get in the mob because you know them or you've been around them. There's a process to that. And you have to go through a few rituals in order for that to happen for you. You understand? And that should be just like Kim Bullet Tate. When he was starting his first, he used to put remember the little cone incense? He put them on your arm and he light it. And when it burned down so far, and if you move, you couldn't be in the game. You couldn't be in this game. You had to take that burn. But shout out to my Southside guy. Like I don't have them, I don't see them, and I see them, and they say, "What's up, big homie?" They my little homies. I don't care. However anybody else feel. And I'm gonna let you guys in on something, right? I talked to a guy, right, at night, and everybody knows who he is. His name, and I'm gonna tell you his name. But very smart, very intuitive, very genius. Got a keen sense of what's around him. Pay attention to detail. He used to study too. He studied turtles. Some of the things that he got and how he is because he studied other individuals. And he perfected his craft out there. And that person I'm talking about is Tracy Batts. Good dude. But as I talk to him and things, and I'll see if it's okay if I can, talk about it to you guys. But yeah, I talk to him all the time. Very smart young man, very smart. Love who he is as an individual. Yeah, if you can't listen, Tony Moore, like I know, right? If you can't look in an individual, oh, you talking about my homie Duck, right? Yeah, you're right. But I'm talking about these guys that wear these dark shades and you can't see their eyes. And every time they come on the internet or they do anything, they got the darkest of shades on them because they don't want you to see what's really in their eyes. Because if you saw what was really in their eyes, then what's coming out of their mouth would not correlate no kind of way. You'll know it's all fabricated, and you know that a lot of that stuff they probably do over there at Vlad is rehearsed. Uh, Questions are pretty much going over, and they rehearse the responses. Check it in. What's up, Marlon? Right, Melly. Yeah, they gifted with the knife in the feds, but that's necessary. That's necessary. I'm gonna keep doing my thing, man, and I hope you guys keep lifting me up and encouraging me to do my thing. That's important too. You guys are a special group, very incredible people. We as a people are very incredible people. We have a great deal more in common than we do not in common, and we're the movers, the shakers. We're the cream of the crop. That's just it. You know, people would like to say you are atheist. No, but just that my concept of God is different from yours. You looking for a God in the sky. I look for the God within me. I'm not looking up in the sky for God. You know, people try to accuse me of being that. They accuse me of being a lot, but atheist is I'm not that, you know. And I'm gonna say this again, man. And you guys heard me say this. America created ninjas. America created ninjas. God created the black man. There's the black man or the black family and the black culture, and then there's the Negro. The Negro is somebody who needs to grow. The Negro is the one that creates ninja moments. The Negro is somebody that don't comprehend, understand, and always is a disruption to the movement altogether. These are the people that Sojourner Truth, Harriet Tubman, Nat Turner. These are the people that they had to get rid of in order to achieve their goals. You know what they say? Harriet say, I can't take everybody. Some of them I'm gonna have to kill. Nat Turner said the same thing. But anyway, we're gonna get to that Laker game. Let's get to it. I've been on here long enough. I appreciate everybody. Marlena Williams, Postmaster General, lights out. What's good? Rock Fresh. Tony Moore, appreciate. Shout out to my DC guys. And man, keep following me. Stay with me, bro. We're gonna take this thing up, man. That's all we can do is go all the way up. That's it. You know, because they don't want guys that speak like me, that speak sincere from the heart, genuinely passionate about his people, concerned about his people. They don't want that. They don't want it, but I'm here till I can't do it no more. So let that be said. As my partner, you know my partner Kenny Wayne Johnson, as he would say, is that channel in there?
Well, it's skating ring, partner.
Skating ring, partner.
Yeah, I'm in here, baby. Tell me like it's hot, baby.
Me and Turtle in the mirror right there. That's a younger version of me. Me and Turtle in the mirror right there. Yeah, I'm in there, baby. That's T. And here's the man. You know I got to include Baba Louie. Baba Louie always said
Got a
this.
quick question.
Right?
What are most of these hood comprised of when you look at them in totality?
Man, for everybody who's listening, please don't forget this. In all gangs, don't matter where you from, all right? There's always going to be a short few that lead everybody, give them strength. But remember this, baby. Gang members and gang banging, it consists of 25% serious motherfuckers that's really doing it, and 75% cheerleaders. Which one are you?
Lock the door.
That's a fact right there. It's a fact. Anyway, I appreciate the cash up and everybody that's sending money and doing, hit me up. I appreciate all that. And remember this, look at this right here. This is where we at. The Hood Postman. There's wealth and average. Reading daily, setting goals, compliments, embracing change, forgive, talk about ideas, continuously learn, okay? Empowering, be empowered, inspired, all that. Average is watching TV, never setting goals, criticizing fear, change, holding grudges, talking about people, and etc. and etc. Those are like, y'all see it. What side are you on? Are you average or you want to be wealthy in your thinking? In your thinking. With that being said, I am Professor Melly Mel, the Hood Postman. You guys continue to like, subscribe, and share. Drop a comment below. If you like, send me a message over there on IG. I'm the Hood Postman at IG. I'm on TikTok. I'm on IG, and I'm on Facebook. I'm Melly Gibson. If you guys care to send me a message or want to speak to me, I talk with multitudes of people on the phone. I'm very easy to talk to. You can call me on the phone. I don't care. I got the time. I'll talk to you. That's just what I do. I talk. So with that being said, Shorty, take us up.
Perfect grind all the time, baby.
Yeah. Cali Finest, baby. Proof of grind all the time. Music money. Got a dollar sign. Hub City. I'm a street nigga, streets fuck with me. I'ma keep pushing products till the fans get me. It's guap off top, diamond Cartier. That nigga wall won't give a broke bitch the time of day. They see me climbing, they see me shining. That's hard work, proof of grinding. New money got me tipping in that 550. Ali, bad man, and I'm so pretty. I got that tech with me, that's my hater sprayer. Go big, grind now, nigga, play later. What can I say? I'm addicted to this paper stacking, and I don't talk about it, I just make it happen. Word on the block is that my shit go, bricks for the low.
Shout out to the Maryland Nation. Marlena Williams, go ahead and lock the door because we are gone.